We've got a small change of plan here. So here we are at the start, and there's a couple of things to know about pine cones. Pine cones, how long will these burn for in my log burner? Let's get into it. So pine cones, 100% natural, 100% free as well, which is the key point. But the main question is, how long do they burn for? So these particular ones I've been drying out for the last week or two, so not long at all really. The biggest question here is, how long will these pine cones last? What we're going to do with these, we're going to weigh out 2 kilos of these, and we're going to see how long it burns for. So let me know in the comments below now how long you think these will burn for. I'm hoping that they will burn for over an hour, because 2 kilos is quite a lot really. So let's weigh them out, get them in the log burner, and let's get into testing these. I think it's going to be a bit of a fun test, something that anyone can do for free if you have a log burner. So we've got ourselves a little basket to weigh out 2 kilos of the pine cones. We've also got the scales, as you can see. We're just going to tear that now to zero the basket, because we like to be accurate about these things. And we're just going to fill it up. So let's go. So in that basket there, we have 1.1 kilos. We're going to have to put that in the log burner and then refill the basket up with 900 grams. Small change of plan here. I wanted to do 2 kilos, but it looks like it's just going to be too much fuel for the fire. So I'm just going to be sensible and just do 1 kilo at a time. So we're going to burn 1 kilo and see how long 1 kilo of the pine cones burn for. This is how we're going to burn the pine cones. I filled the log burner up. We have just over 1 kilo in there, 1.1 kilos of pine cones. We have 3 or 4 fire lighters going along the length of the pine cones so they burn evenly. And we shouldn't have to use any kindling, because pine cones make great fire starters on their own. So let's light up the fire and see how long our pine cones last. So here we are at the start, and I'm really interested to see how long these pine cones will burn for, you know. People burn these in log burners all around the world in different ways. They use them as fire lighters, fire starters, if you want to call them that, and they make their own DIY type of thing. And as you can see, we need to get the log burner up to temperature now. We're going to run it in optimal, and we're just going to keep it there. Like we do with all our tests on this channel, we're just going to run the test through. We're going to check in on it and see how they're getting on. But look at it roaring away. 5 minutes into the test, we've just hit optimal. So we're going to shut some of the valves down now and run it. A little bit more fun, we're going to actually check the moisture in some of these pine cones. And I think this is a really good way to kind of see if your pine cones are ready, because these were reading over 20-30% when I originally had them. But as you can see, if you just push them into the pine cone deep, be careful though, because you know obviously those spikes are dangerous. And as you can see, a lot of these pine cones are under 10% now, which is actually very interesting if you think about it. And these will just keep getting drier and drier the longer you've stored them. So these, look at that, that one's a little bit wetter. Let me see if I can find, you know, a lot of these are open as well. So coming up to 5 minutes there, you can see it's roaring away. So let's just turn down the vents and just set it up, just so it's a little bit more controlled. Look at that. I gotta say, some of the flames that's coming out of these pine cones is amazing. And we're up to temperature there. We can just note, let me show you, let me bring you in closer there. Look at that, banging optimal after about 5 or 6 minutes. Perfect. So here we are, 20 minutes into the test. As you can see, the fire's still going amazingly well. It's kicking out some tremendous heat, and it's on high optimal, which is about 500 or so on the dial, which is amazing. So there's a couple of things to know about pine cones that you need to be safe with really, and to make sure you burn in as clean as you can. So if you have closed pine cones like this, for example, don't burn closed pine cones like this. You want to be burning pine cones that have opened like this and are as dry as possible. So this is a perfect time of year really, September, October, November time. collect your pine cones, dry them out in the house, keep them as dry as possible, and within a couple of weeks you'd be surprised. You've seen the moisture content in the previous clip to these, and some of the moisture is bang where you want it, between that 8 and 15% kind of thing, and I'll just limit creosote and things like that. So look, this is a 100% natural product, great to use as a fire lighter, and as you can see, burning a kilo of it is kicking out some amazing heat, but I wonder how long it will last for. So 25 minutes in, as you can see, we're on high optimal there, the fan's going, and I just wanted to show you the composite material inside the log burner really. Let me zoom in on that for you. And you can see it's glowing red. It started to break down, quite a lot, but it pretty much is burning really, really even, which is nice to see. And look, let's call it 25 minutes in here. It's still got a fair bit to go. It's still got a nice amount of fuel left in there still. If you are going to collect a lot of pine cones, make sure it's not on private property, and make sure you got the right permissions to do so first, because these trees are actually on my bit of land at the back, so these are mine. But if you're going to be doing it out and about, just be careful, and you heard it here from Ryan first, because some people can be real fussy when you're picking pine cones off their lawn. Here we are 45 minutes in. It's still burning in there, as you can see. A lot of it has burnt down now, but look at this temperature that we got out of it. Look at that temperature, still bang in the middle of optimal, which is exactly what you want from any fuel. So here we are, dead on 1 hour later, and it's time to reload the stove. But let's talk about the result. Just look how quick those pine cones catch in there. I've put a couple of pine cones in there. Look how easy they catch, just with a little bit of ember on the bed there. Lovely. Look at them go. It's exactly what you want. Great little experiment. I can't wait to hear what everyone says in the comments about the results from this. But look, we pretty much got bang on an hour of really, really solid heat out of these pine cones, which, let's be honest, if anyone's on a budget, can't afford to buy fuel, look, and it does happen in the world, find yourself some pine trees, sorry. Find some pine cones, dry them out, and keep them as a little backup, just in case, because you never know. But yeah, let me know in the comments below what you guys think of pine cones. Do you use pine cones, and how have you found them? I've got a couple of briquettes on now, just because you get a longer burn times, and I don't have to sit here like an old coal driver chucking it into a train. But hey, there's a place for everything in this world, and I can see a place for pine cones for log burner users and wood stoves. So let me know in the comments below what you think of this video and what you thought of these results. Can't wait to hear what people think about the video. Thanks for watching as always, and I'll see you in the next one. Pow!